Howdy, and welcome to That's Futtuplet, where we take a cool quintuplet figure and figure out how to play it on electric guitar in about 5 minutes. I'm Dr. Warren Warren, and today's Futtuplet is called Mr. Mystery Guest, and it sounds a little something like this. Right. So this is a cool but relatively easy futtuplet that incorporates both the open strings and right-hand tapping. And a lot of the right-hand tapping that I do, since I'm not somebody who dedicates myself to a lot of tapping, a lot of my licks they kind of introduce my right hand. Once I get my right hand up into the tapping business, then things can happen. But I kind of need licks that go from being picked to being tapped. And one of the things that I like about Mr. Mystery Guest is that I like the way that it gives me a little bit of extra time using that open string. So as we take a look at the tablature and the legend here, you can see, of course, my left hand is in the E box, and my right hand is just going to be tapping on the 12th fret. And so I can start with those pull-offs down to the open string. So you see how much time I have between the picked note and the first tapped note. And then the tapped figure just kind of plays itself. Also, I do like that the tap comes at the tactus. It comes at the second beat. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are my two futtuplets put together there. So one futtuplet that's struck or that starts at the first string 8th fret, and then the other futtuplet, the other quintuplet figure begins with the tapped note. And then, of course, this is a cycle, so I can loop through that as much as I need, as long as I remember how it works. One other thing that I might add in here, the way this one ends, it ends with an A note and then another A note. And so the nature of this particular futtuplet, it doesn't have a great ending. It doesn't have a great sound to the finale. So when I know that I'm going to end it, I kind of play it a little bit differently than it is transcribed here. Instead of playing that last note on the fifth string, on the 5th fret of the first string, I'll sneak in the 8th note, the 8th fret of the first string, and then resolve it. So that gives me, it sounds a little bit better. So it gives me that kind of Star Wars sounding ending. Okay, so now is as good a time as any for a little shameless self-promotion. I encourage you to go to futtuplet.com and to find our wonderful books and workshops and series and merchandise over at futtuplet.com. So I'm a big fan of these looping these cycles, and so the second book of the futtuplet series has more than 100 cycles like this, and it gets into a few right-hand tapping ideas. But actually, there may be a book in the future that collates a lot of my right-hand tapping techniques all together and puts it together with, of course, our pentatonic futtuplets, but also some diatonic futtuplets and some other cool ideas with right-hand tapping techniques. We'll see if we can get to that in the future. I still have other books to write. Anyway, but for now, those looping ideas, book 2 is the book that highlights the cyclical ideas. Okay, if we come back to Mr. Mystery Guest and we play it at about 110 beats a minute, we'll get a little music going, and it'll sound like this. Fantastic. So there it is. That's futtuplet. I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in, and best of wishes to you in figuring out how to do these fantastic quintuplet figures on the guitar. And thank you very much for liking and subscribing and supporting the network in all the different ways that you guys do. And remember, futtupleteers, the next time you play something badass like this, and everyone who hears it spontaneously says, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother, hush your mouth," you can say, "I'm into futtuplet." Until next time.